Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Aaron Lewis and today we will be starting the preparation of getting this Nano Aquarium ready for aquascaping. Now I'm still waiting on some of the supplies for it, so this will be a video that is spanned out over a couple weeks unfortunately. But today we will be painting the background black. Now, I will show you the process of that. It'll probably just be fast played. I might insert me speaking when I do the editing, but I'm not too certain yet. But I do like to paint my backgrounds because I do feel like it takes some of the glare off when I'm filming. I have painted most of the current nano tanks that I have, and I definitely do prefer painting over having the glossy background that I usually put on. So we'll be doing that first of all. And then we'll jump forward to aquascaping when I have all my supplies ready. So let's go get that background painted. Today is the first day of aquascaping. I have a 95% of the stuff that will be going into the aquarium, so I'm very excited. Now first, we're just going to start by putting the base layer down. Now I just use some old gravel, sand, and also has root tabs mixed in from previous scapes that I've had to pull apart. So that's what I pour in first. I usually just pour a light layer, but I try and make it so it's higher at the back. And I don't want to really see it, so I'll keep it away from the front of the glass because you don't want to see that sort of ugly gravel if it's going to be a sort of display tank, which most of my tanks are a display tank. So I just flatten it all around, and then what I do next is I grab some API root tabs, which is just this here. I always use these on my aquariums, and I usually crush them up and just mix them around over the base of the aquarium, just so when the plants do eventually root in to the gravel, they will reach these and they'll get a lot of nutrients and they'll just start thriving a hell of a lot more than if you didn't do it this way. Now you don't have to do this, it's just something that I always do, and as you can see, the plants do pay off at the end. So I usually put about 3 tabs in, and because I plan to be planting everywhere in this tank, I'll pretty much put them around the whole tank. For this scape we will be using this Aquarium Gravel. Now this is the sort of red Aquarium Gravel compared to my black Aquarium Gravel that I usually put in my tanks. I'm going with this just to add a bit of colour, and then we'll probably be putting some sand at the front of the tank just because I do like having the 2 different sections of the tank. Most of my tanks do have sand at the front, and I just feel like it looks a lot more nicer than just having your plain gravel throughout the whole tank. So I'm going to go rinse this gravel and then we'll put it in. As you guys will be able to see, I have gone for a higher backing. Just it adds more depth to your aquarium when you're aquascaping. It makes it look bigger than it actually is, just because it draws the eye up. And if you just have it all flat, it's not going to make your tank look that appealing either to the eye. So make sure you have it up on a hill. As you can see here, there's a gradient. Just flatten it all down. Now the water will definitely come up murky, unfortunately, just because it is a very dirty gravel, and no matter how much you clean it, you won't be able to get rid of the murkiness. So next we're just going to be adding the sand to the front of the tank. Now this is the sand I use. It's just an Aqua One natural gravel, but it's actually sand. And the thing that I like about this one is you don't have to rinse it because it's actually already pre-cleaned, so there's no dust or anything within the sand. So let's just go pour that into the front bit. I usually just use my hand quickly before the water takes over, because once the water takes over the sand, it does become quite clumpy. And then I usually just bring the gravel forward. like so. Now I probably will take some out actually, just because that does appear to be quite a lot. Now for the main bit of the aquascape, we will be using these coral wood driftwoods. Now it's practically just tree trunks that the bark has been completely ripped off, so it becomes this nice soft coral wood. Now I'm not certain if these will actually float or not, so I'm a bit worried about that. So I'm going to get some rock work and just put it in around the bottom. So the rock work for this aquascape, I'm going to be trying out Dragonstone. Now I was hoping to go with a grey tone of stone, but unfortunately none of the pet stores in my area had any. So I'm going with Dragonstone. I'm hoping the orange in the Dragonstone won't blend in as much with the orange gravel, but we're just gonna have to deal with it and see how it goes. So we'll start by putting them in. I want to try and put them around the coral wood so I can put in more gravel in the back there to help sort of sink it. Now unfortunately we don't have the plants that will be going in this scape yet, unfortunately. So we are waiting on another delivery from livefish.com.au for those plants. So what I'm going to do is, to clear up the water before I plant it, I'm going to put water in it and I'm going to attach the filter and the heater, and we will then hopefully come back tomorrow after we receive the plants from Live Fish and be able to plant it. I'm going to attach the filter and the heater. So this is what we're using for the filtration and heating. I absolutely love Aqua One, so I always put their stuff in all my aquariums. So we have Aqua One filters on all these aquariums next to them, and I always use this heater because they never seem to fail. So I'm going to take them out of the box, I'll go rinse all the filtration media, and we will put them into the aquarium. So it's currently the next day and the tank is cleared up quite nicely. I do need to do another water change on it just to get the water a bit more clearer, but we have our plant order from livefish.com.au and the plants are very big, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I didn't think they'd come in this large, to be honest. You can tell they have not been grown underwater. So I'm not very impressed, to be honest, because the leaves are quite huge. Look at that, it's probably the length of the tank actually. So I might have to work some things out, put these plants in other tanks and take out plants so I can have plants in here, but I'll have to do that before I film anymore, but when I do, we'll jump right into the planting of this tank. Well, I have to say that is going to be one of the hardest aquariums I've ever had to plant plants in, just being that there was such a big piece of hardscape in there and it is coral wood, so it has very fine branches. I couldn't get my hand in to get to the bottom where I wanted to plant the plants, so it is very bare in some areas, being that the branches do take up a lot of room. But I do think it turned out somewhat okay. Unfortunately, I couldn't use any of the plants that you got from livefish.com.au just because they had obviously been grown immersed, which means they were grown outside of water at wherever they keep their plants. So unfortunately, I couldn't use them, but they are in the 40 gallons, so I'm hoping they will take off in there. they will probably die back a bit, melt back, and then hopefully their submerged growth will come, and I might be able to get some clippings and eventually plant them into this tank. But apart from that, I just had to run around the room quickly and grab plant cuttings from all the plants from different tanks and hope for the best. So for now we have some jungle val in here, water wisteria, Amazon swords, and a cryptocoraine. I'm not sure what that one is. It's more a longer cryptocoraine rather than the shorter ones that I have at the front of my tanks over in the beta sorority, but I am very pleased with how it turned out, and I don't think I filmed me adding the Indian almond leaves. So what I did is I just broke them up and I boiled them in hot water, and then I just added them just to add a more naturalistic feel to the tank. And what's good is when I do add the blue dream shrimp eventually, it will provide a nice little hiding ground and also feeding ground, because the shrimp will eat it as it dies back, and then you just keep adding more and more. So I am very pleased with how it turned out. I do think it could have turned out better, don't get me wrong, but it just was extremely hard to plant the plants into the aquarium. So when I am at Pet City next, I will be getting more plants to hopefully plant in, or I might just do another run around and get some more clippings of plants. But unfortunately, I just did a clipping of all my plants and replanted them into these little nano tanks that we have around here. So unfortunately, I didn't really have much to work with. But I'm interested to know what you guys thought of the overall aquascape. So let me know down in the comments below. But that will sum up this video. So the next video we do, it will be adding the betta fish to the aquarium. Now, it'll be a very short video, but I don't want to make this video too long. So we will add that into the next video. So if you guys do want to see that, make sure you turn on post notifications so you will know when I post it. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I hope you have a good one. Bye!